right? So, not DC topic today. Going to talk about supernatural. Whether you believe it or not, some elements of it may have cropped up in your lifetime that made you wonder. Eh? Now, me, I'm a skeptic about everything. Okay, but I don't deny anything. Believe it's possible for anything. Who am I to say I'm not? I'm sorry about the effect here and stuff like that. It's because my cat. It's just because my phone is cracked. So I apologise for that. Love my phone. So yeah, so I thought I'd talk about supernatural and stuff because I like talking about umpteen different things. So my little wee experiences of the supernatural from the beginning would be I used to dream. Well, I used to wake up during the night when I was a wee boy, and I would see my gran hovering beside my bed. Now, when I meant hovering, it's because I had a bunk bed with the table and chairs underneath, and so if I was to look to my right and to see somebody's head, especially if it's my gran's, I knew I wouldn't be able to see. I would have to look down in order to see them. But no, this was like bed height, so I knew somehow they weren't there, and maybe I was half dreaming or half not, but I could see my room and everything else, and it happened so frequently that I ended up going like that to shoo them away, but I would still like pull the covers over my shoulders and stuff. And then, of course, at some point my gran had died. So whether that had anything to do with it, did I dream about her on the day that she died? I'm not too sure. I just know it happened more than once. So, but again, your mind can play tricks. Another incident was I went to the park. It was late at night. It was very dark, and me and my mate, and we had a bike. It had like one light on it, and we were walking through it. To the right of me, there were these trees all in a row, just one single file of trees, and behind those trees, it was just an open field, right, for miles, just an open field. So we spotted this dog coming towards us, and we couldn't see it. We just saw shadow of the dog. We didn't know what kind of dog it was. So me and I looked at each other and said, I ain't taking my eyes off that thing. And so we just kept looking at it. We kept on moving forward, towards it. And we seen the dog go behind the tree. So we thought, right, eyes on the tree. So we kept looking and we didn't take our eyes off the tree. We could see both sides of the tree and everything else. And as we approached the tree, and nothing's moved. That dog's went for a pee. Is it doing it standing up on two hind legs? Because surely we would have seen the front part and the back part. So we got to the tree, and there was no dog, and there were no way, no place that dog could have went. As I say, it was an open field to the right, and we looked, no sign of the dog. So we stood there for a couple of minutes just having a look. Where did it go? Just vanished. So that stayed with us. Went on a camping trip, Motherwell, Strathclyde Park, and there was a mausoleum there. And we were told about this story about the lady in white, how she sometimes is found to haunt the place, but that wasn't the interesting thing. The interesting thing was the gargoyle head things, right, that were outside the mausoleum. And they all represented parts of life, as your life, love, death, immortality sort of stuff. Now, all the faces had some sort of decay, some sort of moss sort of attack, crumbling wee bits to it, and really looked at AIDS. Apart from the one that stood for immortality. And I went, wow. And when you see something like that, now, of course it could be made up. Somebody could have came along and, put a new head there, but, the tour guide was saying. So, for me, it was interesting enough. So, my father, he was a Catholic, but he collected all these unexplained mysteries throughout the years, and these unexplained folders had everything from aliens to ghosts to, all sorts of paranormal activities and science things that couldn't be explained and stuff like that, since the dawn of time. So he collected that. So he was open minded. So of course I grew up watching all these sort of shows and stuff like that. And so when it came to stuff, when my parents died, my family died and stuff like that, I was open to everything. I went to one of those fortune tellers, which you can probably find everywhere, okay, especially beside the beach in the UK. And I went on holiday, a place called Blackpool, and I was just myself, just trying to find my place, just having a wee holiday, just me. And God, I just went into this fortune teller place, and I had so much money, so I thought, right, I'll give her that. And she after a wee while, she told us that I'd be okay, and I wouldn't have to worry about money, and I'll have kids, and I'll be married. Now, kind of came true, because I'm a guy that didn't do too well in school. I wasn't a confident guy, and I had a hearing problem when I was younger. So to hear all this comforted me, and even though it could be a lie, and because I've just paid this woman money, but for her to say that, it sort of made me feel better and stuff like that, So, but what she said about me having kids, and it kind of came true. So it's that. So years later, I went to see a guy called Derek Acora, and he is a medium, and you get lots of them on TV. So we went to a theatre, and there were lots of people there, and I think the majority was women, and I like to hope and I like to think that there's a lot of men out there who are into sci-fi and everything else that is just as open-minded as I am. And there were times when I thought he was going to single me out because of the stuff that he was describing, and not only that, he was putting on he was copying the guy or the woman he was meant to be, passing the message from. He says, he's walking in front of me just now, and he's going, and he was doing the actions, and you could see the people's reaction was tearing. He says, that's him. Feathers falling from the rooftop, and he picks it up and says, oh, see, this is about you, and he explains about the feathers and stuff like that. So it goes on, and then he goes on and he talks about, oh, you shouldn't buy the lottery ticket, to these people, and you shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. And there was one particular person, and he brought up on the stage somebody that didn't believe in him, and he says, oh, you don't believe in me, before you came, you were forced to do this and stuff. But anyway, there was one couple that stuck to my mind where it says, your fridge door keeps on opening. It keeps opening, and I says, yeah, that's it, I just can't get it. I says, that's your uncle or whatever. And that's just to try and let you know that he's there and he's watching you and everything else. And I says, he'll do that again tonight before you get home, just to let you know that it was him. Can you imagine that, going home and facing that? So I asked him a couple of questions. I said, so what is the afterlife like? Is it like, I see dead people? Is it like Beetlejuice? So he gave an explanation to that and said things like when when the body dies, the spirit stays in this sort of place for so many years and until it's ready to transcend up. Because he's got to make sure, these spirits have got to make sure that things are okay here first. Which kind of sort of says, rest in peace, so to speak. And then it says, well, you seem to be able, these spirits seem to be able to tell you the future. It says, and the one thing I like to believe is nothing's preordained for us. And it says, no, nothing's planned whatsoever. They just see the many forks in the road and they have a look up each one that you could go. That's fine. So, but you hear these stories about one-on-one, and all these good stories you hear about, somebody that committed suicide and the family never told anybody about it and where the body was found and everything. So you hear all this stuff and you went, wow. Now, there's a lot of people out there that will say it's all false and it's, like, hypnotists and Darren Brown or something like that, and they say, I could do that, I could pass. But these are people that you've not came in contact and you're talking. So there's these tests that he was doing. He had to go through 100 odd people to find the ones he could manipulate. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like to think. Anyway, so years later, I heard stories about my wife's auntie going down to see this person, and she was told that, she said, when you look in the mirror, you don't recognise the person looking back at you. And he says, no, I just don't see it sometimes. He says, that's your sister. I says, but my sister's alive. He says, no, you had another sister. And it's who died at childbirth, and in the spirit world they all grow up and they get looked after and stuff like that, to watch it down. Which is it's good for those people that have lost maybe babies and stuff like that. So she goes back and she asks her mother, and her mother burst out in tears and she said she never told anybody, she never told her kids that, and so that was bizarre. So she found that there was another sister there, and then my wife had went to one, and because I'd lost so many, she was hoping that somebody would turn up for me. I wasn't there, and her gran had turned up, and her gran died of Alzheimer's, and the woman had told her, it's just, listen, forget the last month or so that I was there. It wasn't me, it was just my body. So this person knew what happened to Natalie's mother. And then before she left, she said, oh, is there a Jean here, or is it a Molly or something? So one of my relatives had came forward and said, wow. So that made me, of course, interested in going to find out and getting a one-on-one. So I went to see this woman, and she mentioned, Jean, there's a Jean. And she said, and for the life of me, I forgot who it was. And she's got her hand on your shoulder just now, and so then I explained things. I hope I've done okay for her and stuff like that, and everything else, and mentioned my mum's eternity ring, and told her I was hoping to find that, and stuff like that, and lo and behold, we found it, So, not a supernatural, but yeah, I mean, it's God, so many. You get that feeling that people are looking after you and things just seem to fall in place. There's things that's happened that maybe we needed money at some point, or some guidance, or something bad happens, but then it turns out to be a good thing. Loads of those things, as though somebody's looking after you and stuff. So recently, up to dates. We always see like a wee robin in the garden and stuff like that, and we always say, oh, that's the spirit and everything. Anyway, so some of the recent stuff that's happened, So I was driving this wee Picanto and wee car, and Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and my my father was a great fan of Queen, and I'd seen these, and the thing that caught my attention were these adverts for this car, the Duster, and it would advertise it by using one of the Queen songs, and I won best Duster, you know. So they were doing that, and I said, "Oh no, that's good. It's good price, good this and that and stuff." Good family car and everything else, and wife and take driving lessons, whatever and stuff. And then one day, recently, you know, the car I was driving, I was listening to Who Wants to Live Forever, and the car blew in the back of me, you know, it just blew, and I'm singing, you know, Who Wants to Live Forever? What the shit? You know, I thought I was done for. So I pulled over to the side, and lo and behold, you know, we get this car, and of course, call it Freddie, and Freddie Mercury stickers in the back. So that was one wee symbol, right? And then so then we get we discontinued our Sky package, right? Because we were just trying to watch the pennies and everything else, and you were paying something like £90 a month and stuff like that. And I thought, no, I'd rather just use that money for other things. And so we lost the chance of seeing, you know, finales of shows like Arrow and Games of Thrones and stuff. But we knew it was on this thing called Now TV, but you'd have to pay a subscription for it stuff. So the other day I was away to pick up a Freddie Mercury statue I'd ordered, and so I went out and I thought, right, I'll pop into McDonald's, and McDonald's at the time was having this Monopoly thing, but you peel off the things on the packet and you could win instant. So I went in and I got this burger with no cheese. Can't stand cheese. That's why I can never survive in America. Everything's got cheese in it. Says, right, no cheese. But then it came with cheese. So I sent the box back and I got a new box. So then I pulled it back and there it was. Free for 3 months. TV Now. You know, Now TV. Went, wow. So there we go. Put that in. Bob's your uncle. We've got, you know, just in time for Games of Thrones and stuff like that. There's my Arrow, my Flash, my DC Legends or whatever. That's all back. So apart from that and stuff like that, so it just seems the fate is like stepping in and sort of guiding, so to speak. And my wife had told me that she had this bizarre dream, and that she was in this empty room, and then in walks my mother, who was quite young, who came to her very, very young, and she told her how well she was doing and stuff like that and everything, and that she couldn't stay long, and then she leaves, and so she wakes up and she tells us this. And then we googled it, you know, we searched the empty room and stuff, and there you go, you know, there it is. And that, my wife doesn't like all this, you know, talking to dead people and stuff like that, or talking to that. She wouldn't go to one of these things, you know, in a private session or whatnot, freaks her out. Whereas me, I would love the gift, you know, I would love the gift. So she googles it, and there it is, and it tends to a lot of people reporting that they see these people from, you know, that have passed over in this empty room, and they appear to themselves as a lot younger, you know, probably in the happy days. Well, so there you go. There's my supernatural content. I've probably missed out so many other stories, but I hope it's been entertaining, and you can say, you know, this is this is for the Supernatural that will be ending in season, was it 14 or 15 it's ending in? So yeah, if you've got any stories, you know, please leave it down in the comments below. Thanks very much. This is Martriv, DC Vigilante out.